Most of the commentary on the Brexit referendum thus far is focused on the prospects for near-term disruption in the UK's economy and the EU's economy. But there's also some important upside opportunities for the UK. It will have the opportunity to take a freer hand in its own trade policy, its own immigration policy, its own regulatory policy. And there's at least a possibility that it could do so in a more pro-growth way. One big political issue is how well and how soon the EU and the UK will establish a new trade arrangement. The Economic Policy Uncertainty Index for the UK is really at historically high levels. That by itself is likely to forestall a lot of investment and hiring decisions in the UK. The sooner that the EU and the UK come to a new understanding about trade in goods and services, capital flows, financial relationships, the better. If the UK moves in a broadly inward direction, sharp restrictions on immigration, cutbacks on opportunities for trade and capital flows, a more strict anti-business regulatory environment, those things will redound to the harm, I think, of the blue-collar workers who voted for Brexit. That's the bad outcome. The good outcome is the UK will take the opportunity, hopefully reestablish trade relationships on favorable terms with EU, but also the rest of the world, and maybe move to a more open trading arrangement than it had as a member of the EU. The EU suffers from a shortfall of democratic accountability. And so people either rightly or wrongly blame some of the failure to perform economically on decisions that are made at the EU. And I think people in Britain and many other parts of Europe feel that the EU it's not responsive to their concerns, it lacks democratic accountability. I think there's some merit to that critique. So I would encourage folks in the EU to think about how it is that they can restore both the perceptions and the actuality of a greater accountability to the citizens of EU member countries. Globalization involves many different elements. Free trade has been a long-standing aspect of the push towards globalization. Immigration is another aspect of globalization. Harmonization of regulations might be taken to be another aspect of globalization. Political integration of the sort we see in the EU that the Brits have decided they don't want to continue is another aspect of globalization. Many of these aspects of globalization can be achieved without something akin to political integration. So there's a long-standing trajectory since the end of World War II that have promoted greater globalization on the trade front while continuing to respect the sovereignty of individual countries. I think it would be wise to step back and unpack the different elements of globalization and ask, well, which ones can we promote in a way that's likely to be most beneficial economically and most hospitable to the electorates in democratic societies?